I like that you're making content now because I think it builds some empathy for me,
So one of the reasons why I'm super fortunate as I'm starting to make content is that I manage some of the YouTubers that are the biggest in the world, some of the best storytellers on the internet. And I have the ability to just call them and ask them for advice. So it's not an advantage I'm going to pass up. I'm about to call Eric, or as you guys might know him, Airrack, to see what he thinks about me making content. Let's see what he says.
Go to QuickTime Player in your applications.
Okay.
File. New screen recording. And then just hit record, and then it's just going to record in the background. You'll know if you see in the top bar to the right, there's a little stop button in your top battery percentage area that you don't normally see. And then make sure is your phone filming me or you?
It's filming you.
You should be filming, but what's filming you?
No, nothing's filming me.
Okay, so turn the phone around and film you.
Okay.
There you go. I like that you're making content now because I think it builds some empathy for me, and how hard my life is,
I'm not at that stage yet, but I definitely empathize with how hard it is to do what you did, like to go from making the amount of videos you did early on and it working so fast.
Mm-hmm.
That shit wasn't easy.
Well, it wasn't without the help of my good buddy Zach.
Say it on the camera.
We don't.
It's been 4 years. Can you believe it?
I actually cannot believe that. I cannot believe it. I actually also, I moved to LA for Zach, for you too. I remember at the very beginning of our relationship, you're like, yeah, I don't really manage creators who don't live in LA. It's kind of hard. And I was like, all right, I'll come to LA. And then I just moved out, and now we're here.
I love it. And do you remember early on, you were kind of surprised by the fact that I was like, bro, do not put me in any of these videos?
Yeah, I loved that about you because it meant your intentions were right, I was like, I loved how, business first you were, You basically were just there to build a business, which I loved. And that was, different from anybody else that I think I've met in the space. I feel like you have such specific knowledge, and the goal should be to package that specific knowledge in a way that is digestible to the right audience. You know what I mean? Because I think you have a hard time bragging on yourself, so if you just talk about general entrepreneurship stuff, I think you'll fade into the oblivion of other entrepreneur, which is crazy because you're not. You're actually doing big shit. And my worst fear for you would be that you blend into a bunch of people who aren't actually doing it but talk about this stuff when you actually are doing it. You know what I mean? And so you have to put enough out there where there's evidence for the cool stuff that you're doing. Without, I guess trying to over glamorize or sexify it, right? Is the balance.
So do you think my content should be speaking to an entrepreneur, an aspiring entrepreneur? Do you think it should be very creator economy focused? Should it be an aspiring manager?
Listen, bro, I think I've had at least 3 different employees who look at you and they're like, I want to be Zach when I grow up. You know what I mean? I think that what you do is an aspirational thing. I think it's cooler and more impressive and more difficult to get to what you're doing than I think you assume just because you're in that space, But I think that creating for an audience of people that are just younger Zachs is actually a pretty sizable audience, Because I think creator economy is only getting bigger. The amount of people who want to be involved in it is growing exponentially, but not everyone wants to be on camera, right? And your job is literally everything off camera. There has been points where you are literally doing everything off camera for me. Everything other than being on camera, Zach is doing. You know what I mean? Maybe other than editing.
Which now I can edit.
Yeah, exactly. Everything other than being on camera and editing, you were doing everything. So you have to think about the amount of people who want to be in creator world and don't want to be on camera.
Yeah.
We built Creator Now. Creator Now is everyone who wants to be in creator world and wants to be on camera. I feel your audience could be everyone in the creator world that doesn't want to be on camera. And that's a big audience. And you are OG. You're OG for being an OG. You were at the beginning of Yes Theory, which was very beginning of like big YouTuber world, you know? So I feel like you speak from some pretty crazy experience, you know?
Any tips for how I can get a lot of views?
You should join my community creator now. I mean, bro, you know how it works. It's make 100 videos. Like, it's not gonna. It's a whole skill set, man. It's not a joke. It's like you work with a lot of people who make it look easy. You know what I mean? So I think you got to just get reps in, and I think thinking through the perspective of like, what would I click? You know what I mean? Like the video I reviewed today of yours, I feel like you wouldn't click on that video probably. You know what I mean? Like younger you maybe wouldn't click. It's too vague. It's too hard to understand. But like a version of the video that younger you would have been like obsessed with, whatever that is, that's the video you should make. You know what I mean? But the funny part to me is the fact that you've sold millions of dollars of deals on the platform that CapCut is made for, and you have no idea how to use it.
Okay, thanks, brother. I won't take up any more of your time. See you soon.
Cool. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Okay, I'm at WeWork. I filmed that with Eric a few weeks ago before I ever posted my first video, and I'm really lucky and fortunate to have people like Eric giving me advice and being able to help me from his expertise and his experience. Hopefully you got to see a little bit of the behind the scenes of my relationship with Eric and how we kind of interact with one another. And it's really interesting because although I am Eric's manager and sometimes feel like an older brother to him, in many ways, Eric has given me some of the best advice I've ever gotten in my life. And he knows how to just give it to me straight, and also just knows me so well that his advice is always something I hold in very high regard. But stick around, we're not going anywhere. Content is loading.